And man,
Yeah,
some talent, bro.
there's something about playing with older people, like makes your game even
Yeah,
better. Like,
for sure.
because I remember because I read Sonny Bill Williams' book, and he talks about that. He
Yeah.
talks about playing with the older guys
Yeah.
when he's young.
For sure. I think that for me, that's where it all started, eh? You know, like that's pretty much the first of it all. Just man, when I think of that, I just think of those days at Starling Park.
Yeah, the 100 on 100.
The 100 on 100, eh? You know, but you know that's the truth though for me, you know, in my life anyway, because you know back then my brothers were always up there, you know, pretty much the sole beginners of the 100 or 100, you know, and man, when my dad was alive, you know, they had no choice but to drag me with them, you know, so I was pretty much fortunate to, you know, rub shoulders with the older guys and learn off them, you know, kind of thing. And I would have to say, man, Starling Park's responsible for that, man, playing 100 on 100, eh? But no, I've read that book too, man, Sonny Bill Williams' book, and he does, you know, talk about playing with older guys. It's just, you know, you learn quicker, eh, you know? And yeah, you see it, man, you see it. Like, even with my son, you know, when my son was 3, he's 4 now, but when he was 3, I needed another player in my men's tag team, and so I just chucked him on the wing.
Yeah.
And, you know, now I've been, like, I look at it now, and shucks, it's true, man, you know, just that observing, you know, kind of learning, eh? And, man, it's worked. Because, I mean, he, you know, 4 years old playing under 6, and comes just 6 meat pies a day.
When you're jumping in that 100 touch back in Starling Park. Like, I never did it because me and Avi were busy playing basketball at the
he's the people
basketball.
boys, yeah, man. So if I own those courts, all good, mate, all good.
But I remember my cousin came from Samoa because he came down to New Zealand because he went to uni.
Yeah.
And he stayed with us at that time. And he just asked me, "Oh, do you know anywhere we can play touch?" I was like, all right, let's go, Starling Park. So he saw the 100, yep, jumped right in.
Yeah, he blended in there, yeah. So he would have learned real quick too, eh? So those were the days, also. Those were the days where, you know, it became like part of life, you know, part of living in that community, you know, like.
Well, it's good exercise, you know? If the community comes, you want to have a run, get some exercise, just jump on.
It was like a thing, eh, you know, part of everyone's life, eh? Like you go to work, go about your business, but in the back of your head, you're thinking, yeah, far from you know, like straight up Starling Park, you know, it's on. And it's funny, man, because you turn up and it's literally 100 on 100, eh? And, you know, I feel sorry for you if you're standing out on the wing, eh? Because
I always wonder.
The ball goes to the
Where
middle,
you even
and
get the ball?
probably as far as it goes, eh, to the middle of the field and then back to the same side. And then, man, one of the highlights was the refs. You know, like everyone was a ref, you know. And that was like a passage to just having a mean fight. And I remember one day I was up there, and you remember the Bummer brothers?
Yeah.
Stoves' brothers. I remember Bummer having a fight with someone. Just
really?
The To'o. You remember Ongosai?
Yeah.
Those two had a fight. So I remember Ongosai. It was over being like ref, man. It was off the mark. So you know, touch him here, and about 5 steps later they play the ball. And that was Ongosai playing the ball up there. But I ended up having a punch up those two, eh?
Oh, did he?
So they shook hands after. So Mal made them shake hands after, and we carried on playing. Hard out, man. But those were the days, eh? You know, man. I'm blessed with those days because you know, when I think back to how I upskilled myself. Starling Park, man, 100 on 100. Eh? You can't beat it, Rose. You can't beat it, man. So those were the days.
Yeah, man. That was every Monday to Friday after work, man. You're right, man. After work,
That was every day, eh?
you wanna get a little sweat and come back eat, have dinner. But man, that was. But man, everybody just came there.
Everyone, eh? Everyone just gravitated there
Yeah.
every week, eh? We were getting people outside of the hood, eh? Coming, like, man, when we started, I swear it was only like 20 on 20, 30 on 30, and then each day of the week, eh, you see it just gradually growing, eh? And then next minute you having guys like coming from New London, wow, Mount Rushmore even, you
I think
know.
the word spreads, huh?
Hey, it spread. Because I remember back those days as I was growing up and I got older, you know, I was seeing new faces. And honest, man, there was one time I asked a guy, you know, oh, where are you from? You from the hood? And he's like, nah, I'm from Mount Rushmore. I was like, keen, oh, keen for the Whāfu, eh? Yeah, and then Pass Park, eh? And then
Pass Park, there was one there.
floated over to Pass Park. I think those guys just got sick of the not getting touched, you know, not getting the ball over here, and then they started up their own one down there. That was a funny one too over there, man.
Have you been around Starling Park lately?
Been around,
It's
yeah.
changed, eh?
Yeah, went up there the other day actually. Went for just do some cardio and had a look up there. It's just actually reminiscing, eh? But back in the days, like, man, I had a bit of a story with the Starling Park because I remember those days. It's just, you know, a pony club and you know, swamps and trees. But I remember when I was at Birdwood Primary School and the mayor of Waitakere City, or Bob Harvey back then, came to our school and put a proposal through to us. And one of our assignments in our school at Birdwood was to come up with a drawing, you know, a plan of what you wanted to see in your community. And a park was one of them at that pony club.
Because,
And
it was just trees. It was an orchard, eh?
To this day, I have the certificate in my CV, my resume signed from Bob Harvey.
Oh, yeah?
Giving us the, you know, because we asked for a park. I got the whole drawing and everything.
Solely. So you're the one.
Solely. When
you're
I look at
responsible-
Starling Park, honest, when I look at Starling Park and I'm like, man, our class was responsible for that park, man. We named it and all. And I got the certificate and everything, eh? But, you know, it's funny, man, because I've always wanted to come on 135 playlist here, just bring out all the stuff, man. I was like, man, no one will believe me. I'm like, certainly. And then I saw Liddy on here, and I'm like, there's the proof, there's the witness, eh? We were responsible for naming that park, yeah, man. Because I remember back those days when we moved on to Glen Road. Yeah, you couldn't get through, eh? Because it was just a pony club in a swamp back then. Yeah, man. And that year, Bob Harvey, we ended up doing that park up. Yeah, man.
So we have to thank you for giving us basketball court.
I look at that Starling Park,
100
man,
100.
and it's all on my, it's all on my project, man, on my little project, man. Joy in there, it's got the little skate park even. It's got the skate park even. So. Yeah, man.
I was confused when they made the other park down the bottom of Watermelon Drive.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? On the other side of Birdwood,
On
no?
the other side. No,
Like that little flash court in there. I don't know why they
Yeah,
couldn't
well,
upgrade
'cause-
the court on Starling.
yeah, well, I don't know why they didn't upgrade that, but even that park, I don't know why they didn't upgrade the BMX club. You know, like,
It's still there. Huh?
but those are the same ramps there, you know, back those days. The only difference is they gone and put a cement, you know, layer over it, but yeah, it's just a bit strange, eh? But even those houses at the back there, you know, remember when those houses went there? So, like, because how I remember that, those used to be Bob's ealing grounds.
Why?
Man, that's one thing I loved about Ranui back then, my upbringing. I was always going ealing with the big bros, eh? And I remember going at the back of Birdwood Primary School and literally just walking through the creek because there was no houses at the back there. It was only that pony club and the BMX track.
Because that creek takes you all the way to my place, at the back of my place.
Yeah. Comes all the way at the back now, eh? So, yeah, man, I remember those days, man. And now all you see is, you know, houses and stuff now up there. Eh?